Greetings to HiAbba viewers. We have been learning how to communicate in English. So far we have learned how to change an active voice into a passive voice. In that respect, in the last video I have given some examples how to change a positive sentence, a statement sentence, how to change a positive statement sentence into a passive voice, and we have seen some examples. Now, as I said earlier, we have dealt it so elaborately. As I said earlier, there are so many things to be done actually. Statement positive, negative, as well as WH question, positive, negative, yes or no question, positive, negative. So like that, the definitions are so much. So but then we have learned basically how to change it, so we'll have to apply it, that's all. So as I said earlier, few examples we'll see in this video so that you will understand them. In the last video, we have seen how to change a positive sentence, statement sentence into passive. Now we'll see in that respect, statement negative sentence, how to change an active voice into a passive voice. In this video, I am going to give you some complex sentences, because so far we have seen some simple sentences, so that you will easily apply them and it will be very easier for you. As you progress, we will have to learn how to change a complex sentence into passive voice. So we will see one example now. Now dear students, consider this sentence. They did not invite all but a few. So now the sentence is in simple past tense, negative sentence, active voice. How to change this one into passive voice? Now understand, my dear students, there are a lot of complications involved in this sentence. Now you see, let us split this sentence first of all. Now they is subject, did not invite is actually verb, all is object, and but a few is also another object. Now the rules we know, how to change an active voice into passive voice. The object should come in front. So now how we will have to write this one? Let us check. All. Now this is in simple past tense. We know the be form verbs was or where should come. So now all being the plural subject, we will have to write where. All were not invited. Just apply the same thing, but a few. Now again we have learnt what is object omission. By them we don't have to write. Here by them is optional, we don't have to write. We can leave it without that also. So now you see, this is in simple past tense. We take the object and it is a negative sentence statement. All were not invited but a few. By them is supposed to be, without that also we can write. Now this is passive voice. Now pay attention, my dear students. In this sentence, this is actually a negative sentence, but it is also a positive sentence. Now you see, when you take this subject all, when you take this object all, it is negative. They did not invite all, it is negative. But if you take this object, especially in English, this but is very important. If you say a sentence, if you say at the end but, it becomes negative. Now this is being a negative sentence. If you apply but, it becomes another negative. So negative plus negative, it becomes a positive, which means they did not invite all, but they invited a few. So far the sentence is negative, but afterwards it becomes positive. So which means this object is actually in a affirmative sense. This object is in negative sense. For this object, the sentence is negative, but for this object, the sentence is positive. So this can be written in another way also, which means a few. Let us take that object. A few, again this is a plural, were invited. You see the beauty of the sentence. It is actually a negative sentence, but then in passive voice we are able to write in positive because the positive sense is contained in the subject. So, a few were invited but not all, which means we cannot simply blindly apply the object and subject like that. We will have to understand the sense of the sentence, then only you will be able to change them into passive voice. Now again pay attention clearly, my dear students. They did not invite all, it is a negative sentence. Just we can change that one into passive, all were not invited. But a few is in a affirmative sense, in a positive sense. So therefore, when you take that object as a subject, it becomes a positive sentence. So, but a few, for that a few were invited but not all by them. Again, by them is supposed to come, but then we have learnt object omission, so you can omit that. I hope this sentence is clear to you. There is one sentence, but it contains two senses, a negative sense as well as a positive sense. So, if you take this object, it is written in a negative sense, but if you take that object, it is written in positive sense. Now again you see that is applied here. A few were invited, right, it is in positive sense, but not all means it is again negative, which means this sentence contains two senses. Again here also the two senses should come, which means we have taken the affirmative sense first, we have put the negative sense later. That's it. Again in this sentence negative sense is written first, but the affirmative sense is written later. So a sentence containing both the senses, they can be written in both ways. For that this sentence is a typical example. Hope you understand. So the previous sentence what we saw, it was in simple past tense. We will deal the same sentence in some other tenses also, so that you will be able to recall the formulas also. So what was the sentence actually previously I wrote? They did not invite. So for instance, that was in simple past tense. Let us say they have not invited all previously what the sentence I wrote, the same sentence is written in present perfect tense. So how this can be changed? Why? Because I am giving the same example so that you will be able to apply the formulas. That's why. So now again how that can be written in a passive voice? All have not been invited, but a few. So this object is becoming subject, that negative sense is there as it is, but the positive sense is there as it is. Now that positive sense, how it can be written here? A few have been invited but not all. So the same sentence, it was in simple past tense, we have written it in present perfect tense. So how we can write this sentence in some other tenses, we will see that example also. So let us say this sentence, if you are to write this one into simple future tense, they will invite, they will not invite, actually it is a negative sentence, no, right? So they will not invite all but a few, meaning they will not invite everybody but only few, the close relatives, that's the meaning. So now again how this can be written in passive? Again apply the subjects. All will not be invited but a few. So now again how that is done, you will have to pay attention. The negative sense is applied to this subject, the positive sense is applied to that subject. How that will become now? You see, a few will be invited but not all. So my dear friends, I am typically giving this sentence as an example so that you will clearly understand. In a sentence can contain both negative sense as well as positive sense. So this sentence contains a negative sense first, then it becomes affirmative in its sense. So two ways this sentence can be written. That's why I am giving you these examples typically. Dear students, so far we have seen how to change statement positive active voice into passive voice as well as statement negative active voice into passive. Here the example we have seen now that contains both the sense positive as well as negative. How that sentence can be changed into passive voice containing both the senses. So clearly understand this one so that it will be easier for you. So thanks for watching HiAbbaTv. Continue to watch HiAbbaTv. Good luck to you.